welcome back to Double Down University. I'm back with you guys with another Prizepicks video, and today we will be diving into one of my favorite sports, college basketball. This is a sport that I'm really good at, especially getting a read on how different teams play. But I'll also, give you guys advantages with some of the lower college basketball teams that not everybody's aware of, not like the Dukes and the UNCs, but some like the Elons and the Campbell University, stuff like that, lower level teams, because they don't focus on, a lot of bookmakers or line makers, they don't focus on the lower level teams and like stats. They base everything off of just their totals. Like if they score 15, if they average 15 points the last 5 games, their line is going to be at 14.5. So it's just little things that you can see just from watching, as opposed to just looking at a spread or looking at a point prop and just saying, oh, well, that should be in good range. Like he hit that 4 out of 5 times. So it's more of the eyeball test. And then also the higher the bigger the name the colleges are, those are going to be the tighter lines. So you're going to be battling up against bumps like throughout the day, throughout the, let's say if they don't play for 2 days, but they have the lines up there, you can get beat by a bump. If they bump it from 3.5 all the way to 4.5, you can get beat that way just by 0.5, just especially with the bigger universities and things of that nature. But that's neither here nor there. I'm going to dive into that as we go along with the season, and, I'll start to release more props. But for the first 2 props that I have for you guys to start off the college basketball season, I have Denver Jones over 14.5 points. I also have Ray J. Dennis over fantasy, over 28.5 fantasy score. Or you could take his points, but I really like his fantasy score because he could pretty much do everything. So let's get into it. So I'm just going to read you guys off some numbers, because with both of these teams, they have the same front court as they had last year. So I kind of want to dive into those type of numbers as opposed to like more front court, because both teams have really different front courts. They have a lot of transfers and people that fill in spots for people that departed from last year. So I'm going to start off with Auburn. So Auburn, they're ranked 309th in the 3-point percentage and 159th in 2-point percentage last year. So they struggled to shoot the ball from 2 and from 3. And then they were ranked 323rd in defensive rebounding. But they also bring in Denver Jones, who's one of our props, and he shot 37% from the 3-point line last year. So he's a shooter, he's a scorer. His role may change just a little bit because they have a incoming freshman who they want to keep the ball in his hands. I think his name is Galloway or something like that. But he's going to pretty much bring the ball up. So Denver Jones is going to pretty much play like a 2 guard. So with this being said, with their, what I read about Auburn is that they struggled defensive rebounding the ball. And then vice versa for Baylor, same issues. They have issues guarding the post. They were ranked 348th in defending shots at the rim. They are ranked 293rd in defensive rebounding. But they were one of the better shot 3-point shooting team, They shot 38% from 3, and they were one of the top 25 offensive rebounding teams. So that also can play a part in it. Now there is a player that I wanted to target too, especially with the rebound advantage on the offensive glass, which is Mr. Johnny Broome that plays for Auburn. I wanted to touch his props, but the biggest thing that concerns me just from watching him play, I've watched him play his whole career, but this guy gets in foul trouble like nobody else. Like he can, if he stays out of foul trouble, he can easily clear every prop that that they put up for him. But it's just the simple fact that I don't know if he's going to get in foul trouble, and I don't like putting my money at risk with a player that you just never know. To me, he reminds me of who's a good example in the NBA wise? I say like a Draymond Green type. Draymond, he's going to play his role. He's going to dish off. He's going to assist. He's going to pass and everything. He's going to do everything to help his team win. He's not as big of a shot blocker as Johnny Broome is in the interior, but you just never know what to expect with Draymond. And the same thing for Johnny Broome. You just never know what to expect. Now, if you guys want to throw a wild card in there, you could throw his fantasy in there, because I do think he will get a lot of blocks. Maybe get a couple steals, just depending on, because Baylor, they like to play this no rotation type of defense where they like clog up the paint and they try to get you to force rotate, and everything has to be on the perimeter. But like I said, they struggle and they have issues with contested shots at the rim or defending shots at the rim. So I think this is a really, really good spot for Denver Jones to be able to go down low and be able to get like some easy layups, easy like floaters, things of that nature. And he can shoot the 3 ball, so that's a bonus on top of that. And then with the game being close and the spread being close, this also has the potential to give him free throws if they were already getting the bonus in either half, first half or second half. In the bonus early, if he's aggressive and he gets to the line, he should get easy free throw attempts to be able to go over this line. And then also Ray J. Dennis, like I previously stated, he can do a little bit of everything. I expect him to get 15 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists, and then maybe a couple steals. But I just think, and he doesn't really turn the ball over too much. He had a couple games where he's turned the ball over like 4 times or so, but like I said, he's not going to have the ball in his hands too much because they do have some other players that will bring the ball up, so he's not going to be the primary ball handler in this situation. Let's take a look, and like they have Jalen Nunn. He's another big transfer for them. He played for VCU if I'm not mistaken. Jalen Bridges is really good. Jonathan, I love this. I love their center. I can't say his name, but Jonathan, he's a dog. He's a beast. He gets rebounds. He brings effort. He brings energy. He's one of those type of guys, and I just think that he would be able to afford them a lot of easy offensive rebounds to be able to give Dennis extra shot attempts to be able to go over this fantasy. But like I said, like he gets a lot of steals, as you can see here, 4 steals, 3 steals, 2. I think, let me see, he's had maybe 4 games where he hasn't had a steal last year. So that just shows you a type of player that he is. And then he could fill up the stat sheet, like he's getting 21, 2, and 4, 11, 6, and 5. So he can fill up in every category. And those are the players that I really, really love in fantasy, is players that can do everything. You don't want a player that can just score and rebound, because if you're taking their fantasy score, well, if they turn the ball over, then they only have 2 options to be able to recover from that fantasy loss from a turnover, which is -1. So if he gets a block or a steal, so let's say he gets 1 turnover and he gets 2 blocks or 2 steals, then that means that he'll go over that because each block and steal is worth 3 points. So he'll be able to mitigate the turnovers if he's that type of player. So those are my 2 props for you guys. Denver Jones over 14.5 points and Ray J. Dennis over 28.5 fantasy score. I appreciate you guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will be back for more content tomorrow. If there is any good games that are a really, really good tight spread that's going to be competitive, that's what I'm looking for early in the season. A lot of these games are pretty much, like I said, they're pretty much out of hand, where they're like 20 point spreads, 30 point spreads. So I kind of want to stay away from that. I want a good competitive game. So those are my 2 props. I appreciate you guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Best of luck, and let's catch.